Okay, we're open. I am speaking now, Valerie. Uh, okay. Yeah, I was just waiting for the open. Uh, I'm trying my darndest not to buy my land. Trying to make it at least hit a 2 minute high. $35. We're battling there. Well, I'm long from 35.24. Took a while for that to actually show up. My land. Oh, looks like the spiders is taken off. Looking to take 100 off just below 36 on my land. Glad I took the money off. It's already back to 35.30. Oh, yes. Well, Spiders hit are 274, up by 50 cents. Get a little bit of a rebound in Apple. We've got Ions here at, that's been a low volume one here. It's going to be very spready. Let's ignore that one. MNK, Mallinckrodt, a crotchety old one. Forget it. Doesn't look good. Let's see what CBS is doing. It shot up to 75.60. Go 640 to pre-market, 650 got to 675. And there's the Spiders, it's 275.4. Well, it looks like Mylan wants to give it back. I'll try to give it down to about 35. That'll be a little bit of a loss on that second half. Looks like it wants to give it back. Gets back over 35.40, I may want to buy it and add 100 back in. All right, let's look here. We've got KNT, 2 MLM. Let's look at our well, user defined list. Ralph Lauren. All right, on a 3-minute, this puppy's pulling back on my land. Ralph Lauren. $140 goes for. My land's battling. All right, I bought 100 shares of Ralph. Not liking my land there. Okay, I've got Mylan on autopilot. Really love for it to get over 35.5 again, but Dow's rally, I have no idea why, but we've got a rally going on. CBS, nope. 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 I misread Ralph Lauren's daily chart. I thought it had gapped up. It actually had gapped down after running up into earnings yesterday. So not really such a great buy. I exited with a minus 53. CBS is battling that $75 level. What was that all about? Well, did something hit a target? Was that Ralph Lauren? No. I think a flat. Yeah. Back over 35 in Mylan. $35.15, 14, I guess that is. Sorry. Looking take some off below 36 for Milan. It's going to battle 35 and a half. Possibly could have waited till 35 and a half. Milan Daily is just, all right, let's see here. You can see the Milan Daily that it's right up around here. I think it probably goes to 36 and a quarter. Let's do 1106. What? I have no earnings for 1106. That's wrong, yeah. Okay. Their servers are overloaded as well. Brookdale, BKH. TWOU. Gap way down. Gap way down. Henry Schein, gap way down. Spiders is up there. Looks like Q's up there. Nuggets down to 1455, back down. My Myland's trying to go higher. DVAX. Nah. Emerson. Nah. We had a lot of gap downs that are kind of trying to bounce. Expeditors. Gonna be a bit thin. Need to keep an eye on CVS. Over 75.5 probably. Yeah. To 74.50. Apple's rebounding a little bit. It's back up to 204 off the lows of yesterday. And Go, it's on the way now. Rats. Yeah, Go broke out over 650, and I missed it to some degree. High short interest. It did a wobble right here at about 675. Looking if we get over 75.60 or so for CVS. Gonna nibble 100 shares of CVS, a bit on the early side, but I'm going to be able to give it some room, and I could add if it breaks out. A little bit spready and whippy. You've got the big guys are about 15 cents apart, and little guys are trying to nibble in between. And TDG. Yeah, forget it. It's too small and too cheap, too expensive. All right, we finally got some numbers populating into this puppy. And Mylands just kind of try to digest this move up. Need for it to get over 35.40 to 35.50. JCOM, nope. Oxy Pete. $74.50. Try some of that. There's Oxy Petroleum. Looks like it's kind of in the gap here from over $75 if it ever gets there. It's going to have room to run to the upside, which is why I dibbled. We still have some Mylan there. Mylan's going back up towards 35 and a half. And did we still have our go-go? Yeah, the go-go went over 675. Okay, car. Car's coming back up from the gap down. I don't know that I like it at all. My land's all over the place. Okay, we're at 10 o'clock. Didn't we have a report here? Jolts was out at 10. Let's see if it gives a jolt to the market, up or down. We've got Mylan in the upper right corner. We got CVS at the top, in the middle. Vic Saruni way down with the rally going on. Go. Go has went. Where's our first target in Go? Wow. There's basically the target in Go, $8 with short interest. Not going to be a straight line though. Mylan just hanging in there, and CBS. So we're just kind of marching in place at the moment. Well, I really don't know what to tell you. We're just kind of hanging loose here till we actually see something move. And Mylan's pulling back again. Kind of marching up the T line on a 5-minute chart. Let's go to at least to a 5-minute. Right. See how we're going up here on the 8 EMA. Still needs to get over 35 and a quarter, 35 and a half. CBS on a 5. And watch Mylan on that 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart has the stops right about where we got it at about 35.70. CBS is about the break-even point. I'm taking some heat in that VXX. I want to hold it over the election cycle, to be honest with you. Go's going. DVAX. It's just coming up off the bottom, really. Looks like it wants to try to do a belt hold on DVAX. And let me post up a couple of charts here. Okay, go daily. It's kind of what we're looking at. Okay. Nope. Manitowoc. Nope. All right, CVS is starting to work here, guys. Guys and gals. It took a while. Yeah, 75.75 is going to be a key level here for us. We hit 75.80 a minute ago. Diamonds are pulling back. Spiders are pulling back. There's 75.75 again. And let's see if we can get a push here. Got a big seller right at 77. And he's got a lot smaller now. He went from about 500 5,000 shares to about 1,000. Here comes a push. We can only hope, right? 84, 85. Okay. Taking half off of our CVS. Now we can see if we can get to 76.25. See what it does when we get up there. That I've got the daily that I posted out there. Basically 76.50. We're going to have a tough road to get over there, but then 78 or 79 could be a possibility. Ain't going to happen today with me in it, I suspect. Mylan's trying to grind back higher. Let's see what we got with GoGo here. It was up around the 7 something. Yeah, 735. Daily and CVS is looking quite nice if you look here. What I'm looking at really right here, I'm going to probably lower this down to just under that. Alright, so if it runs up that high, we'll be out. guys have any questions out there? I mean, we're, I can understand everybody's reluctance to try to jump in ahead of the elections, but that's a swing trade mentality. If you're day trading, we're going to be out before the elections anyway. So I have no qualms about day trading ahead, but I understand why we're not going to do anything otherwise. How soon do you need the $100 Costco gift card? Now, another problem is that we've got extreme volatility out there, and I can understand people's reluctance to be trading with all that volatility out there. So, after what I just said, there are reasons to be cautious. Way to go, Vern. It's a bit. This one's gonna. Yeah. It's having a tough time there. That 35 and a quarter is a tough one for Milan. CVS is trying to climb up to our sell point. I can understand that, Valerie. Totally. I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is I'm providing you guys with useful information. Let's look at CXW. Some of the earnings stocks were not all that fantastic today. Expeditors was working pretty well. It wasn't a gap against anything, though. So we really only had a couple of decent ones in my mind. Go. We're in CBS. It's not the greatest trade, and then we're in Milan for the second time. It gapped up quite a bit, and I see 36 and a half as a possibility. Not not going to be a an easy road to get up to 36.50 though. It has so much of a gap today in Milan. All right, we're over 76 on CBS. We had a solid 76.26 in the pre-market. Well, Mr. CBS. Got a little bit of a shooting star on a 5-minute on CBS. Closes below 75.75. I'll probably just go ahead and take what profits I've got. Yeah, I don't like what I'm seeing in CVS at the moment, so I'm just going to take some money right here. I'd like to see 36 as well. Money, yeah. Now, 35.50 has been a really tough level for it to get over, you know. So I am long 200. So I'm going to take half of mine off the table right here under 35 and a half, and hopefully that it goes much higher than that. I got all these extraneous buys and sells in here. There's 35 and a half. It's battling. And $36.50. All right, watching here on a 15-minute chart. I'm going to move my stop up to the trailing dot. Let's see. Why don't I expand that out? You see how I've got the volatility stop here, Vern, the little dot here? And in fact, if you look over here, we had price there in the opening 15-minute candle right there around 34.80 or so. Now I'm long from 35.15, so I can't quite go up to break even unless I go right here on a 5-minute chart. There's that 35.50. Do I want to let it go? It's really kind of had a tough time with this 35 and a half. I want to try to give it a little bit of room because I've got a little bit of money in the bank right now. And we did have it get up to just about 36 earlier, but it couldn't hold it in the 5-minute body you see here, Vern. That 5-minute body was only 35 and a half. I don't know about you, but we're getting all kinds of junk political calls today. I may just pull the plug. We've got, I saw 7,000 shares buying. So we've got some arm wrestling going on around 55 here. Yeah, just a matter of trying to read these things and figuring out what two things. One, what you think it's going to do based upon the charts, and what your risk tolerance is. My risk tolerance is if it comes back down again, I don't want to be in it. It's already been here once. So I'm back. I'm to break even on the last half. So I basically can't lose. There's 35.60-ish. And we get these big pushes. I'm going to show you what I'm looking over here. All right, I'm looking at it at a ladder here on the right. And I'm looking and seeing all these, 10,000 share sells around 35 and a half. That 1106, that ain't mom and pop trying to sell that puppy at 35 and a half. Could it be a fake out? Yes. Do I think it is? Not really. It's probably somebody that had the shares from before and they're just trying to maximize their profits. A second ago I saw 20. Yeah, there's 20,000 shares and now it's gone to only 6,000. Another 21,000 again. The large numbers appear when the price gets a little bit away from it, which makes me think that it's not real. When the price gets really close to it, it disappears. Again, I would strongly suggest not looking at the ladders that much. It's just something to keep my brain going. And you can see here, the 5-minute chart, we're kind of stalling right here. My stochastics RSI is on the high side. Now, volume and price, 35.20. And looks like we're going to try to come back in there. The 15 minutes still going higher. The volume, the stochastics RSI on the 15 minute is pegged at the top, but that's okay. We're arm wrestling just below 35 and a half. See, it looks a little bit different here on the 15-minute chart. But then again, the volatility stop trail is all the way down under 34.85. I still see this doji here at 35.19 as the logical stop for me because, again, we're on a day trade and want to maximize our profits on the stop. And I do like to watch on a 15-minute chart as I'm after 10 o'clock. Oh, we're at 10:32 now too. And Vern, since you're on TOS, you could set something up like this where you have 4 charts all on the same, and you could have something like a daily chart here. You could have a 30 or 60-minute chart, a 15 and a 5, or a 3, or a 1 and a 2. You can just have a quadrant there and watch those puppies without having to bounce all over the place. All right, I moved my stop right up in tight. If it pulls back, I'm out. I take my money and run. These two, let's go to a 5-minute. Looks like the 3560, it can't get over. I'm gonna be out in a second. Whoa. Yep, there I am. Okay, I am out. And total of 158 in Milan today. Milan. Okay. MYL. What we get at CVS? I know I'm out, I think. Go. Went. Right. 159 in CVS. I'm underwater in Nugget, underwater big time in VIX, underwater in the Spider thing, Ralph Lauren. We took a minus 53 in that. I didn't like what it was. That was a dumb entry. And I'm underwater in Oxy. Whoops. Whoopsies. Yeah, Oxy's pulling back. I need to probably exit stage right. Well, that was a silly one. Oh, I didn't write down my go-go. All right, we're looking at 1036. Out of all that, I'm up a whole $210 net. Probably not worth it. Not worth it at all.
Connection lost.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's with, we'll see. I'll keep my land up here on the right hand side. Did you exit as well then? Okay, great. I like to have it spread out a little bit more. Yeah, my land has permission to go higher now that I've exited. ADM? Coming off the bottom.
Order pending. Order canceled. Order pending.
I'm looking at a short under here for the Dow. Q's pulling back. Diamonds, what I'm looking at is underneath that. Haven't had a whole lot of buddy barks today.
Order canceled.
There's your Milan at 35.60 again. All right, let's do a quick review of the markets here. Crude oil is down $1. It just keeps slip sliding away. Gold's down $1. Nothing to worry about yet. The S&P's up 5, the 2750 area. Dow's up 28. Nas up 38, trying to recapture that 7,000 area. Russell approaching 1560, so looking pretty strong there. The VIX, despite all that upside, the VIX is elevated a bit. And VXX is still down though. Well, Mr. Milan again. Still battling with that 3560 there, Vern. Cannot seem to get over it. There goes Mr. Dow. Wow. We're in a big chop. We're at 25,500 now. Yeah, on a 30-minute chart or 500, it could run. Hello, sir. The dogs are locked inside. You're safe to go in the backyard. You too. Bye-bye. You guys want to rawhide? Buddy? Wait a minute. Move, please. Thank you. Let's get you. Sit down, buddy. Go sit down. Oh, good boy, Stitch. I need for you to stay away from me with that. Lilo? Stitch? There's that little bust out of 500. Could be a fake breakout though. Yeah, thanks, Bob. I don't normally look at those, but that's a good thing to point out. hourly chart. I'm looking at an hourly chart on Mylan, and back in early October, there's some trading going on between 35.60 and basically $36. And where are we? 35.60 to $36. We're just trying to get through that. And it looks like we might be getting through it there, Mr. Vern. Chewing through supply. All those people from early October that were long are now well. They're said, please God, just let me get back to even and I'll never do this again. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I know you could be other places. We're going to have some extreme volatility tonight, tomorrow, and the next day. So buckle up. All right, I'm going to send Ricky a question. All right, there's a continuation move in
Order filled.
the Dow Zaruski. Maybe extended.
Order canceled. Order filled.
All right, John, I'll take a peek at that. Let me see if I'm transmitting. Yeah, I'm transmitting. Okay. Go. All right. on a second.
Order filled.
I'm going to come back to you in just a second. I'm long the Dow. Second time up. All right. You sorry sack of doo-doo. Battling this 512 area. 520. A little long in the tooth here for me to be long, actually. And 1054. We really haven't had a big rally or a big move since about the open. There's 525 overhead. Looks like it's going to fail again. And the trend is turning over, and you guys can't see it. See how this trend is turning over, rolling over. Unless I get going high right now, I'm basically schnitzeled. Mr. Negativity here. However, if I get over 20 and follow through, I get a continuation candle. So we'll see if I get lucky or not. Was it, do you feel lucky, punk? Goes my land. Yep, 35.70. Yeah, but there it goes in what, nickel increments, penny increments. It's just going to be a grind there, Vern. As long as it works, I guess it's, you know, if you're in it, it's still on the 15-minute walking up the T line in the 3. Where's my Super Dom? Hi, the day's 25,523 on the Dow. And I'm out. Well, I guess not yet. I put it at that volatility stop at 497. Oh, you guys aren't seeing a that trend is rolling over. The momentum is it's starting to roll over a little bit. The R squeeze is doing the same. Smart man would probably exit, but I've never claimed to be smart. I've claimed to be stubborn. Big seller at 514. Let's do this for you. That seller at 514 is gone. I have a continuation candle, but I don't have follow through. Is there a God? Is he shining on me? Or is he just teasing me? Teasing. CPT says it's time to exit.
Order filled.
I'm gone. Okay. All right, let's look at the go-go. Let me go to a 5-minute chart. Whoops. All right. All right, let's look at go-go from the get-go. All right. Could you tell me, Joan, what are you basically saying you got shaken out, and why did you get shaken out? Is that what it is, or do you want me to just kind of go on what the trade values that I see? I saw that it had a pre-market. It went all over the place down here. It has a lot of high short interest. And let's go look at, say, a 3-day 30. All right, I had marked up I'd marked up these swing levels around 6.5 to 640, okay? And those were in the pre-market, and we were gapping up against it. You put profits at 718. Okay, I think I did roughly the same. Let's go here then to a 3-minute chart at the open. All right, over these levels in here, anything over there would be a potential long. Not to worry about all these over here, which are pre-markets, although I guess the 660 or so, and I think I remember mentioning 660 or 665 as an area to watch for. Well, it got in there, did a buy, then it did a pullback, and it basically marches up. This is the 3 exponential, but it's on a 3-minute chart. Well, I'm going to go to a 5-minute chart. So as soon as we got in the open 5-minute chart, it basically keeps going. We hit $7.52. Now, when you hit 718, are you talking about what time of the day? Are you talking about you were out at 718 at 10 o'clock, or if you were after, say, 10:30 or so? Those times are different. So 718 is at 2 different levels. Let me mark it up, or multiple levels actually. Okay, that's 719. If you took the profit over here at 10 o'clock, 10:03, all right, and that would have been right in there. Let's look at the 3-minute chart. All right. What? Did you see that? Did you see it get all the way up here to 735 and then retrace? And then okay, and so therefore you said, I'm going to take the money now. Right? Do you do all in, all out? Or do you do all in and partial sells? I don't know if your commission structure allows you to do that or not. If you are using $8 a trade, you're probably not going to be able to do that. Mine's $6 round trip, not 16. Your $9 round trip, 450. Okay. If you're going to actively trade, you might want to look at the possibility of opening an account with, was it Tradier? What is, oh gosh, what is the name of that guy? Anyway, I can get that information to you. They do an unlimited number of shares at a flat fee per month. Anyway, $35.99. Oh, okay, Joan, no problem. Hit 36. Well, it hit 36 early in the day, Vern. So it finally got up there. It was just a grind. You have to decide, Joan, how much. See on a 3-minute chart. The volatility stop was $6.81. The way I have it set up here. Now, if you look at it from a technical perspective about where the price is, support is right around this level. Support was right in there, and then the volatility dot was there until you went up another 3 minutes, and then it moved up to here around 7. Now, you have to decide whether you're willing to allow a stock to have wiggle room, or you'll just be happy taking the profits that you have. Now, realize that it currently is not even back up to that $7.50 level, not even to $7.40. So you haven't made a, oh gosh, there goes the Dow finally. Anyway, I knew it was going to do it. I just didn't. No, never mind. Frustrations. You have to decide whether you're going to take the money and run, or you're going to give it room. And in fact, if you look up here, this 725 to 730 level is basically where it kind of ran out of steam. And if you look at 1006 to 1030, it went sideways. Sorry, stochastics pulled back, and this price levels pulled back a fraction. It pulled back from right about in here down to about 720. Now, one could say that, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You probably saved me from myself. I like to take the 3 and the 8 exponentials and watch the volatility dots. I don't always give it back all the way to the volatility dot, because that from up here at 750 is where it hit, all the way back there to 7. That's 50 cents on a, that's a huge percentage move. Okay, so to be honest with you, I could not have used the volatility stop as my stop. I would have had to use something else. You had a shooting star pattern develop. Let's redo this color. You had the shooting star right there. One could say that below the bottom of that candle would be a sell point, and it actually hit it at just a little over $7.20 right here about 10:07. Based upon what you're seeing here, let me trying to make sure that you don't see everything to the left. All right, I'm going back in time. This right here is 10:06, then we're talking 10:09. We're looking at anything below 728. To me, that's a sell signal. Now, is that just a sell signal as a warning? Is it sell signal as get out of Dodge? We have no idea how far it's going to pull back. So you have to decide whether you're happy with the amount of money that you've got, and if it runs after you get out, you're okay with that, or you're going to allow it to come back. So the bottom line is, which makes you sadder? Which makes you more frustrated, disappointed? Is it not taking money that you used to have when it was up here at 750 and then came all the way back to 720 because you were trying to give it room? Or is it, well, is it money you used to have, or is it money that it ran higher and you were disappointed in not being in? It sounds like right now you're looking at it and said, darn, I should have stayed in. But that's not necessarily the case. You have to decide which is more either appealing or not appealing to you. I'm having trouble describing. Now let's step this over. Now, it never violated the 8 exponential. It never violated the $7.18 level. Yeah, I mean, we have to decide. Now, I've already decided that I'm going to cry over the fact that I'm not in something, and I sold too early. But that's just my lot in life, because I really, really despise giving back money. It's just an emotional thing with me. All right, it's a battle that I have. It's not the best of things. What I'm trying to do is be more mechanical. Yeah. See, and one of the reasons where you might be tired of giving back is if you buy too high, buy too late. Kind of where I was trying to do there with the Dow. I was trying to play the breakout. I was trying to play the bigger picture, but I didn't give it enough room. I needed to go down from 2 contracts to 1 so I could give it a lot more room. It never had a full sell signal. All right, and here you had a minor sell signal because we never got a breakdown yet. Now let's step forward. We still don't have a breakdown. We had a dip down to about 720, but we didn't have a breakdown yet. Now we're starting to get the breakdown. Okay, if we get down below where you sold here, 718, 720, that's going to give me a sell signal. Just stochastics pulling down. So to me, that's probably time to exit, because you have no idea when it's going to stop. Well, then it says, you know what? I don't want to go any lower than 720. And it started to go back up. Up, but it dipped below 720. This is now trying to decide. Way to go, Vern. But you're not in it either, right? This is trying to decide whether it wants to go higher or lower. I'm going to stay on the 3 minute just because we can watch as it ticks up and down. It did take out the volatility stop, which was at 714. Now, in this case, it went up and did a gentle pullback. I say darn as well, but you know. It did a gentle pullback. They don't always do that. In fact, quite a number of times, they'll get up to this level, they'll do this, and then they'll shoot all the way back here to the 17. Or this level here, 690. Now, remember what I said about the short interest here in GoGo. It's pretty high. It's greater than 10%. Now, I don't know exactly what it is over 10%. Let me find out. Went to shortsqueeze.com. 89% of the float is short. If I'd have known that, we would have bought some GoGo, given it either 100 or 200 shares, and then said, I'm going to give it plenty of room. Let's look at Mylan and find out what the percent short is. It's only 2%. All right. So, this is kind of a norm Oh, sorry, this is kind of an abnormal pullback, a gentle pullback. So let's step it aside. It's kind of battling with that 720 level. And notice how it dipped all the way down here to about 712. Down to the prior level low. And it's battling with that 720 for the longest time. Then it, at around 11 o'clock, when the market started to move, it started moving. All right. And where did it go to? Oh. I'm going to take one of these here. All right, the high of the day was back up here, but the bodies or so in the volume was right here around 735. I've got 737. It went up to here, pulled back, and in 1106, it started its march back higher. Here's the deal. You didn't know back here that it was going to stop. You didn't know that it was going to go back up. One way is to take the money and be happy. One way is to try to ride it out and maybe either turn a winner into a loser or turn a medium-sized winner into a small winner. Or another way is to exit and then buy and re-enter. Now, the re-entries is easy to say after the fact, but it's extremely difficult to do in the heat of the battle. Because sometimes you'll get these false moves. And if you wait for a confirmation with a breakout, your stop's got to be a long ways away. So you have to pick your poison. Now, in this case, if we're after 10 o'clock, you probably are going to be on a 5-minute chart instead of a 3. And you see how this thing did a crunch here with onto the 8. Went up, the 3 came down, and the price touched the 8 and then started to move back up. The strongest of the strong will do an intraday J-hook like what GoGo did today. It will do a move up. Let me get a crayon. We'll do a move up. It'll do a pullback, normally deeper than what it did here. Excuse me, that one was quite gentle. And then started to curl back up. Classically, you want to have it deeper so that you can have that level to go to as your target. Now let's go look at there's the 3-month chart. That right there was the breakout. Now, what did it do around there? Intraday, it wobbled quite a bit. This looks like an easy trade, right? Well, it's not necessarily such an easy trade when you drill down and see that, oh, by the way, there's 653. It kind of broke over it and then paused. The easy trade, if there is such an animal, Entry was right there. If you didn't just hold your nose, because that right now said you go long up here with the stop at the dots or underneath the low right there. And then you have to figure out what you're going to do. All stocks are going to do a move up, some sort of retracement or pause, and then move up again. You have to decide whether you're just going to be happy with taking your money on the first move and trying to do a re-entry, or do a first move. This is why I like to take half, because then, okay, let's just say here, one more thought, and then I'll stop beating this dead horse. If you got in down here, and you let it run up here and took profits at 718, partial, and you let it come back, let's just say you had 400 shares. All right. You take 200 off somewhere up here, somewhere in this area, and you let the other 200 ride. Well, if I were long at 675 and I even took it off at 7, I've got 25 cents in the bank times 200 shares. All right. That's only $50. And some people look at it and say, well, that's not very much. Well, that's $50, and you let it ride, and you're right now up here to 775 from 675. So you're up $1 on the trailing. So you're up $200 on the back plus the 50 here. Now it's starting to look like a pretty decent trade. Now you're not out of this one yet, unless you are. Unless you're going to try to let it ride some more. All right, so the whole idea is, that's why I like partial exits. The thought process I was trying to make, if you can, but then you're going to have commissions that are going to eat you, where you need smaller priced stocks are not necessarily the easiest to be doing partial positions unless you have thousands of shares. All right, so here's the deal. Oh boy. Partial sells. I'm trying to get the thought back. All right. If I got up here and I had we did it 675. We probably have 30 cents in it from 675. Where would I have to get to on the remaining shares that I have to actually lose money? Well, I have to go back down below 7, below 670 or 710 or so, below 675, way down below 640. This is the beauty. If you could sell partial positions, you can allow it to wiggle. I was never able to allow stocks to give it room until I sold partial positions. Thanks, Fern. But once I do that, if I get some money locked in the bank here, I can let it go back. And even if I only get that first move, I can have a winner. Because if I'm long here, I take some profit up here, even if I let it come all the way back to that trailing dot, I've got that amount of profit already in the bank, and this is a break even. Pays for the commission. All right. Let me move this around. aren't you doing this? All right. That's not a huge move, Vern. Till we get over 3570 or 3575, I still think this is probably only a reversion to the mean. I'm not convinced that we're turning around yet. See how these moving averages are all in parallel with one another? And even if I took the 3 out and only used these 2, we're in a downward move. And we got a little bit of a squeeze here, and we're about to change direction. Remember we talked about the 8 and the 17 crossover? That's probably not going to occur till right about in here. And then we have a little bit of a pocket right here around 3580, but you know, you could make some money from 70 to 80. I don't know. I'm not convinced that we've turned. We're just bouncing. Now, I'm kind of convinced with Milan. Looking at it from a 15-minute chart, Milan never had a sell. This shooting star at the open kind of scared people, but it never got below it. It never confirmed a sell.